Hello, people. Arusha is in Tanzania, East Africa. There is a lot I'm not sharing in this story, but a few revelations here and there. For the matter of clarity, those who might want to ask, there are people who are a little bit inquisitive or curious. They want to know everything. This is the truth. The truth in the story is I met Angelina on Friday afternoon. I arrived in Arusha. We crossed paths. I see her across. She's walking with the mother, with the mom. They were about and about shopping. You're talking of the up-end scale of Arusha in the city, Moms and daughters going about shopping. I set my eyes on her. And as they crossed the road, I stopped and we exchanged pleasantries. Strangers, complete strangers. Lakini Kiswahili yangu ilikuwa tofauti. My Swahili was different. It sounded, lakini wewe siko mtu hapa. And of course they could see through that I wasn't Tanzanian. My Kiswahili sounded Kenyan, lakini ilikuwa tofauti kidogo. It was a bit different with the Ugandan accent and all that. And I was happy, enjoy your holiday here. I said, I'm visiting a friend here. Tukuwa tunasoma naye pia pamoja kwa KE. Lakini alisharudi, labda mimi nimekuja hapa kumuona. I've come to visit and see him, and nitarudi huko Monday, kwa siku 2-3 huko hapa. Sina maneno mengine kwa kufanya hivyo. I don't have anything much to do in Arusha. Saturday and then Sunday, Hamadi and his family, they host a party. It was like a graduation party to congratulate him for his studies in Kenya. He had finished studies. And same to me, I had finished my studies in Kenya. That party was, it was an invite-only party. So you had to be a who's who in Arusha to attend. His family was known far and wide. So little did I know that Angelina'S family was known to AHMAD'S family. And that's how Angelina turns up before my eyes with the family. Hey, let me tell you people, these are situations that they are called random occurrences. Things never happen like that, man. Let me tell you. I set my eyes on her. She looked gorgeous. She was dressed in a red. You've seen the picture. I was dressed in a suit, very smart. I've always been smart in wearing. I always wear smart. So, and that's how I came across. And I figured out that there is no way I'm going to miss this opportunity. The mom had already seen me, Angelina's mom. Mnajua hao wazee, sasa wako wanajulikana sana, they learn things very quickly. By the end of the evening, as it went by, you read the story, everything's in the story. I'm just giving you snippets. How things transpired. Because people would be very curious, but this Tanzanian beauty, Kegus, what really drew you towards her? What was the attraction? Alikuwa bibi mrembo sana. She was very beautiful. And with all that was going on in my life at that time. Nilikuwa I had broken up with the Kenyan beauty. And it was still daunting on me. It was still hurting me, you know. I had a lot of hopes with the Kenyan beauty. She's a very good friend of mine up to date. That's why I can't reveal so much. She's following this story. She follows everything I post. Alikuwa bibi mrembo sana. Naye pia sahi anajua Kegus mimi nilikuwa ninampenda sana. Ilikuwa ile love yenyewe. The story is from Maharishi International University with love, mapenzi yenyewe. Kenyan beauty. Sasa mnataka kujua sasa wewe bibi unapenda wanakushitua sana Kegus kila bibi mrembo sana anakushitua nini namna gani? So it felt more like reliving a similar situation, because how I met the Kenyan beauty was on my first day at the university. The first day at Maharishi International University, we set eyes on each other. She was coming to the campus. I was alighting from the van, arriving. Niliona bibi mrembo anaingia huko kwa gate. Hey, lakini huyo. And then we would become friends. And things would end. The story is beautiful. And now I'm in Tanzania and I'm seeing the same occurrence of events. We are drawn towards each other. We would come close to each other. And then I introduced myself to her again. Hello. She was happy to see me and very surprised. And it would dawn on me later when my friend Hamadi he spilled the beans that the family is known to them. Hamadi's family and Angelina'S family, they were known to each other. The affluent part of Arusha, Majengo, a place called Majengo. That is 1997. Today it must be, the who is the one who stayed in Majengo. It was a very nice area. So that evening was filled with a lot of anticipation. When we began talking, we moved away from the crowd. The guests, the party setting. Watu wanakulanga chakula, watu wanacheza mziki, that kind of ambience. I needed to talk to Angelina in privacy. So we found somewhere to sit. I remember this vividly, very well. Tulikaa pamoja, alafu tulianza kuzungumisha. We said, talking this. When you're talking to a woman for the first time, the sweet words, that kind. The Kenyan beauty, it was different because we used to go for walks. We used to go for long walks in the Limuru tea estates. And I remember the first time I kissed her. The Kenyan. It was in the evening, coming into darkness. It was, I was walking up back home and everything, and then tulianza nini, tulishikagana mikono, alafu it was romantic within the greenery of the tea estates. Very, very memorable. Now, in this situation, we are side by side. And I held Angelina's hands with a warm embrace around her waist. And I remember hugging her and thanking her for whatever I was thanking her for that wasn't even there. Lakini nilikuwa namwambia shukrani. I was thanking her for being the kind of person she was, and she must have been taken up by my words. Tulianza kula mchomo pamoja, alafu nakumbuka tulianza kucheza muziki, we started dancing together. It was temptatious. It was temptatious. If you have been in that situation, you can see what is coming next. Angelina had just recently returned from the United States. She was studying there. She had finished her bachelor's and was coming to take up reins in the father's business. She's the only child and the daughter. So there were a lot of expectations from her. A lot of, you call them high hopes. She's the daddy's daughter and everything. She would introduce me to her family that night. Of course, the mom already knew me. The dad was happy to see me. And, I think they really sat back that night seeing their daughter dancing with somebody well presentable, well, reputable. And that was me. And little did I know it could have been the moment, but it wasn't like the moment won't last. And my 2 days, I had planned to stay in Arusha would end up to be 1 month. Hey! And I didn't want to leave Arusha. You've seen everything that went on. And whatever happened that night, that's the very first night we made love. The love we had for each other was so infatuating. They were about to leave. I remember escorting Angela to their car. And then she tells her mom that she's staying a little bit longer. She will be coming back home later on in the night. This was about 10 p.m., 9 p.m. Angelina stayed at the party with me. Everything you want to know is in the story. I spilled the beans. What happened? She slept over with me because at the AHMAD'S where I was staying in the guest wing. Very nice house. They had a guest wing. So that's where I was being hosted. For the 3 nights I stayed at the AHMAD'S. And that would explain why on Monday, Tuesday, I check into the new Arusha hotel. Because now it was obvious I'm going to stay longer. I was going to stay longer now in Arusha. It was obvious. It was obvious. But to clear the way for me, it was a tactical move, I think. Do you know what I mean? A tactical move that give yourself that space. And that would begin the revelations of what went on and what went on afterwards. Angelina goes to Dar es Salaam. I'm left hanging. She told me she would be back. I pick her up at the airport, airstrip. By then it was called Arusha Airstrip. We go to the Ngorongoro, we come back. Life takes in you. It becomes an extended stay vacation. Huh? You people. Arusha. The story is still continuing. I'm giving you more revelations. Because at the point of the snake bite, now I move into their home. Where do you find this kind of situations? Your girlfriend, the parents had to leave. They left, they skipped town and went to Dodoma. When I left the hospital that evening, Angelina'S mom tells her to tell me that I am not returning to the hotel, that I'm going to stay in the guest wing. They had a nice guest wing. I think it's how the houses are built. They're very big houses, you know. So the first night, I leave hospital following the snake bite. I move into the Angelina'S guest house. The next day, the parents would travel to Dodoma, the mom and the dad, and left us, two of us, at home alone. What do you mean? What do you mean? What do you mean? If you ask me, Kegus, what do you mean in yours? This story is bizarre, you know, you can't have a soft landing like that. But the parents, I think, wanted things to work out. And they had very high hopes. You call them expectations. High expectations that things could work out. That's how things are done. The parents. And I think the mom was already suspicious. There was something going on there. Like when they talk, no, we need to leave. Then they went to Dodoma. They had a farm in Dodoma. Very large farm, big house. Yes. I'm going to go to Dodoma. You wait in the story. Dodoma. Those who don't know Dodoma, it's another big city in Tanzania. Yeah. So, and then I go to church for the first time. To church, St. James Anglican Church in Arusha, to pray for me. It was a very big service, dedicated to me as well. They prayed for me. And I met Angelina'S friends. Lots of people, they are very, very excited to see me. Oh, Muganda, Assalam, salam, shikamo, maraheb. People, you don't know Swahili from Tanzania. The Kiswahili of Tanzania is different. It's got an influence of the Coastal Arabic. Yes, Coastal Arabic. It's like if in KE wanasema habari, in Tanzania wanasema shikamo, maraheb. You see what I mean? It's different. Shikamo and maraheb, which one sounds Arabic? So definitely they knew Angelina had met someone and things should have gotten even bigger than that. But the story is continuing. I'm giving it to you. I have never told this story. Like, okay, when I left for Uganda, that is 30 years ago, I knew I was going to return to Tanzania. I knew, but it never happened. Angelina, she's there. She married, and 30 years is a very long time, people. Nali mwana muto. 1997, how old was I? I just finished my studies, people. 24, 23. So, yeah, I was there, I think I was 23, 24 in Tanzania. And I fall in love. And hadn't it been the snake bite, that incident of the snake bite, Angelina pretty much being there for me at that very critical moment. You know, it was a do or die. It was a dire situation. that could have gone for the worst, you know, the reptilian python, whatever it was. But I got stung by the snake. It coiled around my leg and then made a quick exit. And I explained that very well in the story. In the story, you read everything. If you're following the story, that's what I mean. Yeah. You follow the story, and then you get you get a deep dive in what the, you know, people just say, hey, it's a love story. It's small. A love story. In my life, let me tell you this, people. Are you with me? There are 3 women that have shaped a very big foundation in my life. The Kenyan beauty, the Tanzanian beauty, and the general's daughter. 3. You know about Bettina, although I will never reveal who she is. But she read the whole story. She was following it on my Facebook. She's my friend, but she uses another name. So she's married, happily married. She's not even a grandmother now. She's a grandmother. Hey, recently she became a grandmother. Bettina. People loved Bettina so much. I was saying, you should have married Bettina, the campus, Bettina. You were really in love. That story is similar to many people's stories. It connected so much with the people. True. And a lot of people could see themselves as Bettina, and a lot of people could see themselves as me. Because that's how I met my girlfriend, who became my wife. That's how we met at campus. It was a sweet story. You get me? Oh, like that. Oh, yeah. You know my friend Tom? Where you know my friend from? No. I'm aching everywhere. As you should be, bro. Have a nice weekend. Are you around? Okay. All right then. You see what I mean? And then Bettina. Do you want to know who the Kenyan beauty is? I can't even give her a name, an alias. Let's call her Kenyan beauty. Stick with that. I'd call her who? Kamau? Or Patricia? Something like that. No. I couldn't. I just wanted to call her the Kenyan beauty. Angelina, she's not even Angelina. She's a Muslim. Muslim. Angelina is just an alias. Angelina, she's a Muslim. Now you know. She was a Muslim girl. I'll say, you man, we don't get you sometimes. You're tough. Your stories. Well, you love the story, but you're going to get married anyway. I wanted to keep her hanging on. You're going to see it's coming out. We shall have that chapter. She's going to hang on to something. Please don't go. 1 month was a very, very long time. And a lot was going on. I had free reign, residency and everything. So it wasn't tough. Soft landing. It was comfortable. My leg was recovering. I didn't have to go back to hospital, but I went back to hospital to have the leg checked up. But the initial dressings were changed by Angelina. She changed everything. You've read that part. Everything was changed. She was a nurse. Anyway, guys, I'm out. Yeah.